All right, everyone. So the deal with cutting out our black squares, our 6 by 6 inch black squares, is we're going to be using an x-acto knife. All right, so you've probably seen one before / used it. Because what we're cutting is longer than one single snip of a scissors. Say that 5 times fast. So because what we're cutting is longer than just one of these, we're going to be using an x-acto knife so we can make a perfectly straight cut. So that's one of the reasons why you use an x-acto knife. Other reasons would be if you have to do like an organic design, something that isn't super easy to cut with scissors, or if you're just bad at using scissors. That's me. I'm real bad. You want to talk to the scissor master, talk to Mr. Cisneros. It's just, I don't know, it's amazing what he can do with those things. It's ridiculous. But meanwhile, back here, when we're using the x-actos, we're going to need a couple things. And the first one is a cutting mat. I'll have a stack of them for you. You also need an x-acto knife, which we will talk about distributing and stuff later. But you're also going to need a ruler. My preference is to use a metal ruler. Unfortunately, we don't have too many of those. So in its absence, we're going to use these wooden rulers. And the reason why I like to use the wooden rulers is because they have a little bit of thickness to them. These are free from Home Depot if you want to pick one up. They're also double as a paint stirrer, fun fact. But these plastic guys have seen a little bit of wear and tear. Also, I don't know if you can see, but there's like pieces missing from them, right? The years have not been kind to the blue rulers. So the wood ones are a little bit easier to use, in my opinion, and a little bit better for what we're trying to do. So here we go. I already cut one square out of my black squares so you can see what's going on. But our job is to cut out what we've already measured, right? So we're going to be cutting along these white lines that I've created to hopefully make, right, 5 perfectly square 6 by 6 inch black squares. So we're going to start by putting our paper onto our cutting mat. These are self-healing cutting mats, so when you cut into them, they actually seal up on their own, which is nice. Then we're going to take our x-acto knife. A couple of things to know about this is the grip unscrews. When you unscrew the grip, the blade becomes loose. The blade becomes loose. There we go. And it can be removed. Do me a favor and don't remove the blade if at all possible. I'll do that. I'll replace the x-acto blades as they get dull. But when you get your x-acto knife, just make sure that that grip is tight so the blade doesn't fall out on its own accidentally. So we're going to line up our ruler on our cutting board as accurately as we can. And then I like to stand up. If you want to do like a little crouch, you can, but sitting down isn't always the best position. But you're going to very carefully line up that ruler with the line that you've created, because your measurement can be spot on, but if your ruler isn't, perfectly lined up, it doesn't matter how good your measurement was. So my left hand is holding my ruler. Notice that my index finger and my thumb are kind of mapping out where I'm going to cut. You don't want to hold the ruler up here and try to cut down below your hand, because that could lead to problems. So we're going to keep your thumb and your forefinger kind of on the outside of your cutting path, and you're also going to be cutting in between here. Next, we're going to line up our x-acto knife. When we're cutting, I'm going to be cutting straight towards myself, right? And I don't want to angle my x-acto, right? I don't know, either way. Some people like to dig in on the side and kind of hold it on an angle. Don't do that either way, and try to bring that x-acto directly towards you. When you're cutting with x-acto knives, I'm sure you know they're very sharp, so you don't have to put a lot of pressure on the blade. So I'm just going to slowly draw that blade directly towards myself until that paper is totally free. So if it doesn't happen on the first try, leave your hand there and just do another pass with the x-acto knife until you have that completely done. But once your paper comes away, you can release your left hand or your non-dominant hand, and then you're ready to go. And we're just going to repeat that process with the rest of our squares. You can do one at a time. You can do the whole swipe. The cutting boards are a little too small to do the entire cut, so I would do like one square at a time. And if you are careful with your knife and you're careful and precise with your cuts, you'll wind up with just a perfect 6x6 inch black square, which is what we're looking for. All right. Does anyone have any questions about that? All right. A couple of extra things. If your X-acto starts to roll and it gets close to the table, just get out of the way. Don't try to catch it. You can get injured that way. What else do I have? Yeah, just be careful. Obviously, don't pretend to like stab your friend. Don't actually stab your friend. It's a bad idea. Just, use your common sense when you're using X-acto knives. All right, and that's it.